Imagine this. A call goes out for a mission of unprecedented danger. Men are wanted for a hazardous journey with no guarantee of safe return. Low wages, bitter cold, and months of complete darkness. The reward? Honor and recognition upon success. Despite these grim prospects, 28 men, including Shackleton himself, step forward, driven by a desire to conquer the unknown. Before we delve deeper into the expedition's unfolding, it's crucial to understand the meticulous preparation and the backgrounds of the men who embarked on this perilous journey. Shackleton, a seasoned explorer who had already ventured into the Antarctic, was driven by a profound desire to achieve what others had not. His previous experiences, including his participation in the Discovery expedition and leading the Nimrod expedition, where he came within 97 nautical miles of the South Pole, fueled his ambition for the Imperial Trans-Antarctic expedition. The selection of the crew was a critical task. Shackleton sought men who were not only skilled but also possessed the temperament to endure the harshest conditions. Among them were Frank Wild, Shackleton's right-hand man and second-in-command, Tom Crean, a tough and experienced sailor, Frank Worsley, the captain of the Endurance, and the talented photographer Frank Hurley, whose images would later immortalize the expedition. The Endurance departed from South Georgia on December 5, 1914. Spirits were high, and the crew was eager to face the challenges ahead. The journey through the Southern Ocean was fraught with difficulties, as the ship navigated through thick pack ice. As they ventured further south, the ice became more treacherous, and progress slowed. By mid-January 1915, the Endurance became trapped in the ice. The crew attempted to free the ship by cutting away the ice and using the engine, but their efforts were in vain. The ice closed in around them, and the ship was immobilized. The men settled into a routine, maintaining the ship, conducting scientific observations, and preparing for the long winter ahead. As winter set in, the temperatures plummeted, and the days grew shorter. The crew faced the psychological challenge of enduring months of darkness and isolation. Shackleton's leadership was crucial during this period. He ensured that the men remained occupied and maintained their morale. Social activities, such as games, reading, and lectures, were organized to keep spirits high. Despite the crew's efforts to free the ship, the ice continued to tighten its grip on the Endurance. The immense pressure began to take its toll, and the ship's timbers creaked and groaned under the strain. Shackleton and his men realized that their situation was becoming increasingly dire. On October 27, 1915, Shackleton gave the order to abandon ship. The men moved their supplies onto the ice, setting up camp near the doomed vessel. As the ice continued to crush the Endurance, the ship eventually sank on November 21, 1915. The crew was now stranded on the ice, hundreds of miles from the nearest human habitation, with only lifeboats and limited supplies. For the next several months, the men camped on the drifting ice floes, hoping to reach open water. Shackleton's leadership was again crucial in maintaining morale and discipline. The crew faced extreme cold, blizzards, and the constant threat of the ice breaking beneath them. They established routines to keep themselves busy and focused, hunting seals and penguins for food, and using the lifeboats to navigate the shifting ice. The drifting ice floes gradually carried them closer to open water. As the Antarctic summer approached, the ice began to break up, offering a potential escape route. In April 1916, Shackleton decided it was time to take to the lifeboats. The crew prepared for a perilous journey across the ice-strewn sea. The journey to Elephant Island was fraught with danger. The men sailed for several days through perilous waters, navigating between towering icebergs and battling freezing temperatures and rough seas. Their destination, Elephant Island, was a desolate and remote outpost far from any shipping routes. On April 15, 1916, the exhausted crew finally reached the shores of Elephant Island. Although they had found solid ground, their ordeal was far from over. The island offered little in the way of food or shelter, and they were still far from rescue. Shackleton knew that they could not survive on the island indefinitely, and that a bold plan was needed. Realizing that no rescue would come to Elephant Island, Shackleton made the daring decision to set out in one of the lifeboats, the James Caird, on an 800-mile voyage to South Georgia. He selected 5 men to accompany him on this perilous journey: Frank Worsley, Tom Crean, Timothy McCarthy, John Vincent, and Harry McNish. On April 24, 1916, the James Caird set off from Elephant Island. The small boat was buffeted by towering waves and freezing temperatures as it navigated the treacherous Southern Ocean. The men endured constant danger, battling fierce storms and the ever-present threat of capsizing. After 17 harrowing days at sea, the James Caird finally reached the southern coast of South Georgia, exhausted and frostbitten. The men landed on the uninhabited side of the island. Their ordeal was not yet over. However, as they still had to cross the mountainous interior to reach the whaling stations on the northern coast. The final leg of the journey involved climbing over glaciers and traversing treacherous terrain without proper equipment or maps. Shackleton, Worsley, and Crean undertook this grueling trek, while the other 3 men remained at the landing site, too weak to continue. The 3 men crossed mountains and glaciers, enduring freezing temperatures and exhaustion. After 36 hours of continuous effort, they finally reached the Stromness whaling station on May 20th, 1916. Their arrival was met with astonishment by the whalers, who had given them up for dead. Upon reaching Stromness, Shackleton quickly arranged for a rescue mission. However, the first 3 attempts to reach Elephant Island were thwarted by sea ice. Shackleton's determination never wavered, and he continued to seek assistance. Finally, on August 30th, 1916, Shackleton returned to Elephant Island aboard the Chilean ship Yelcho, commanded by Captain Luis Pardo. Against all odds, Shackleton and his team successfully rescued all 22 men who had been left behind on Elephant Island. Remarkably, despite the unimaginable hardships and dangers, not a single life was lost during the expedition. What truly sets the story of the Endurance apart is the human element. The men who embarked on this expedition were not just explorers. They were individuals with dreams, hopes, and fears. Their diaries and letters provide a poignant glimpse into their daily struggles and triumphs. Frank Hurley's photographs capture both the stark beauty of the Antarctic landscape and the grim reality of their situation. The camaraderie among the crew members was a crucial factor in their survival. They supported each other through the darkest times, sharing their meager rations and comforting those who were ill or despondent. Shackleton's concern for the well-being of every member of his team was evident in his decisions and actions. The expedition also highlighted the importance of innovation and adaptability. The men had to improvise constantly, using limited resources to create shelter, clothing, and tools. Their ability to adapt to their changing environment and to find creative solutions to the problems they faced was vital to their survival. In recent years, the story of the Endurance has seen a resurgence of interest. In 2022, the wreck of the Endurance was discovered, remarkably well preserved, at the bottom of the Weddell Sea. This discovery provided a tangible connection to the past and renewed fascination with the expedition. Thank you for watching this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos.